This land is your land was a node to American virtues. America's most important folk song was written 86 years ago today. A good friend of mine, Lori Sue, sent me this article mentioning this song, a Guthrie song. On February 23rd, 1940, American folk legend Woody Guthrie wrote This Land Is Your Land in his hotel room in New York City. This song would go on to become one of the most influential and iconic folk songs ever written, with its lyrics about idyllic, which means not idealist. I didn't know what that word meant. Tranquil and carefree, scenic, or picturesque. There's a lot I still need to learn. About the idyllic American dream and its contrast with the country's war-torn Depression-era politics, man. Guthrie's iconic song is often associated with traditional patriotic American values, but the song was originally written as a response to Irving Berlin's overly romantic song, God Bless America, which Guthrie found too simple. Instead, his song explores how not every American was feeling blessed among the growing violence and economic strife of the 40s. This being a thing that will be a part of the world all the time. If you guys have followed my channel for a while, followed me for a while, you know, I immigrated to this country and I'm not naive to its problems, but I'm still such a freaking fan. So this really is already resonating with me. I can't wait to listen to the song. So the song contrasts that traditional folk patriotism with a more cynical, realistic depiction of life in Middle America. Let me move the article more for you guys to see it a little better there. I'll link to the article down below, by the way. Guthrie wouldn't record and release This Land Is Your Land for another 4 years. The song became an anthem of the 1940s, ushering a whole new generation of folk artists who used the simple chords and stripped-back sounds of the genre to write even more powerful protest songs. So Bob Dylan was inspired by Guthrie, Dylan, Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell, but it's because of him and this song. It created kind of that culture of the revolt, politicism that he fostered with This Land Is Your Land. In 2002, Guthrie's protest tune was selected as one of 50 American songs to the National Recording Registry, which honors the most important and influential music in the country's history. It was also named the 11th best protest song of all time by Rolling Stone in 2025. I just did another protest song, If I Had a Rocket Launcher, so here we're in protest mode. But again, from what I read in the article, it actually resonates a lot. It's the reminder to not be blind to people's, issues. Like, again, in comparison to what my life would be if I still lived in South America, right? Gosh, dude, my life is a freaking dream come true. You know what I mean? But it's like, I still struggle with credit card debt. I've been asked if I've experienced like racism here. No. Like the reverse of it, to be honest, people are like sometimes too nice to me, I think, because they're like, oh, no, the only hate I've gotten is for being LDS. So I've always been a guy who, I love ideals, but I know that they're just ideals. Again, I'm Christian. We have commandments, right? And Jesus taught us the higher laws. But I fall short all the freaking time. Doesn't make the ideals wrong, though. So kind of that front, right? So, but what I'm trying to say, I am failing because the most powerful way to say a lot of things is through song, which is why the whole freaking purpose of this channel. So that's why I can't wait to check out, for my first time, This Land Is Your Land. If I look up This Land Is Your Land, I first get the Duck song. Again, I have filtered for view count. The Star Mother Freaking Spangled Banner, frick yes. Some video talk about the Middle East, which like honestly I don't know. All right, what do you got? This Land Is Your Land. I don't want to listen. I don't want to see the comments yet. I want to make my own. I want to come up with my own conclusions first. I want to feel the song first, then I'll go read the lyrics and maybe we'll replay some stuff after. But right off the bat, Homeboy's guitar. This machine kills fascists. Okay, here we go, baby.
This land is your land, and this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
Beautiful.
As I went a-walking that ribbon of highway, and I saw above me that endless skyway, I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me.
starting to speed it up a little bit.
I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. All around me, a voice was a-sounding, this land was made for you and me. There was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. The sign was painted, said private property. But on the backside, it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. When the sun comes shining, then I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling. A voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, and this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
Interesting. He speeds it up so much when he's not singing. The rest is just quiet. Okay, that was the end of the recording. It was just...
Land was made for you and me.
It ends right here. It just, okay, 2 minutes 45. Is that a real picture? Okay, so this is always the fun part of going through music history. Because now I understand how much more funnier the Joey identical hand twin bit is.
This hand is your hand.
See, now
This hand is my hand.
So people were laughing right away because they recognized from singing the song when they were kids.
No, wait,
It's my hand. I remember, see, like, it all just starts coming together. Wow, dude, that's what he looked like. You can tell how much he would have inspired Bob Dylan. It sounds Bob Dylan-esque. Simple guitar, very homely voice, nothing special, but a good poem. So the spoken word. So true, just being a bard, right? This land is your land, from California to the New York Island. Clever. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. So as the LDS, by the way, this is actually really meaningful to us. Yeah, we believe the Americas to be the promised land, right? For anybody who will worship and be good people and right? I mean, as a kid singing this, I mean, what better thing to teach your children, right? As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Just feel grateful for what it was that you may be here, right? See the beauty in it. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. All around me was a voice sounding, this land was made for you and me. So again, it's more beautiful the way, the more you think about it, was made for you and me, not for just me, not for just so-and-so. As the sun was shining and I was strolling and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, a voice came chanting as the fog was lifting, this land was made for you and me. Reminds me of that Christmas song, I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day, right? When you find out the story about that song, it's actually a really, really sad song of someone just being so sad, but being reminded that, hey, there is still something worth believing for, hoping for, striving for. That beautiful poem, you know, those beautiful words that Samwise Gamgee gives us, right? Even with so much bad, there is something worth hoping in. And what a great hope to give all of us, to remember where I am, yes, was made for me, but for all of us. Then he treats that as the chorus, that first verse. When the sun comes shining, then I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and dust clouds rolling, a voice came chanting as the fog was lifting, this land was made for you and me. So apparently in the recording that we listened to, did we get the full thing? Because apparently these verses were typically not included, but I feel like I saw it. As I was walking, I saw a sign there, and the side said no trespassing, but the other side, it didn't say nothing. No, that side was made for you and me. So an open borders thing here? A piece of advice, don't ask many of us who came here and worked hard to come to the U.S., you know, learning the language and all of that stuff before we came to, you know, become a citizen and whatnot. I would advise you not ask us about our opinion with open borders and closed borders and whatnot, but I feel you. I'd like to pretend that I follow this, but no, sorry, bro. My house is just for my family. You know what I mean? In the squares of the city, in the shadows of the steeple, near the relief office, I see my people. And some are grumbling and some are wondering if this land is still made for you and me. Wow. Oh, that's Did he sing that in this version?
Cloud rolling, a voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, and this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Yeah, maybe they cut it from this version. You can just hear the history behind the song, man. That last verse, I wish I heard it sung there. It's so powerful. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, near the relief office, I see my people. Some are grumbling and some are wondering if this land is still made for you and me. And that may be to remind the person, the listener, that it's meant to be. Yeah, it is. It is very realistic in its portrayal of the feel. The song is a call to the romantic idea of the American dream, though. It is. And it does remind us that we won't always feel that way. But let's do what we can to progress to making that ideal possible, right? So this is Woody's words. After we built the Cooley Dam, we had to sell the people out there a lot of bonds to get the money to buy the copper wire and high lines and pay a whole big bunch of people at work, and I don't know what all. Huh? We called them public utility bonds, just about like a war bond, same thing. The main idea about this song is you think about these 8 words all the rest of your life, and they'll all come bubbling up in 80 jillion all union. Try and see this land is made for you and me. When Guthrie was tired of hearing Kate Smith sing God Bless America on the radio in the late 1930s, he sarcastically called his song God Bless America for Me before renaming it This Land Is Your Land. There was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. Sign was painted. It said private property, but on the backside, it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. So I'm not going to talk about this stuff here, but was he a Marxist? Pretty common during this time, right? Here's some other 2 verses with apparently with some variations here. I'm just reading from Wikipedia, by the way. Well, one bright Sunday morning in the shadow of the steeple by the relief line, I saw my people. So I kind of read that from that other version. As they stood there whistling, they stood there hungry. Don't they know that this land was made for you and me? Oh, again, music at its best for us to remember, how can I be more charitable, right? Well, as I was walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said no trespassing, but on the side it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. So there's a trespassing line kind of echoing the same thing as it said private property, but on the backside it didn't say nothing. Bruce Springsteen also covered, a lot of people have covered it. Dylan, everyone. Again, we have a Glenn Campbell version, Peter, Paul, Mary, Bing Crosby, The Seekers, don't know who they are, Connie Francis, Tennessee Ernie Ford, David Carradine, Greg and Steve, Sharon Jones and the Dev Kings. A lot of people I don't know. Johnny Logan, Raffi. Again, a historic song. A song that, yeah, it's interesting because, yeah, you sing those first few verses and maybe you teach it to children, and such a great message, and the song can progress with you as you mature. Again, that song was written in 1940. And here we are talking about it 86 years later. Man, how incredible must it be to have a legacy like that? To just write a song that has been sung and performed so many times, being the godfather of the folk, a protest song genre. Incredible, man. A lot of pressure. But I don't think he cared. That's the great thing about artists. They don't care. They have something to say. They put it in music. And if it makes you think of things you can do to make your right to impact your sphere of influence and make it better, well, freak. Awesome. As you know, some of the best songs I have checked out on the channel have been, again, in protest, in nature, right? A lot of the stuff from the 60s and everything we check out, freaking incredible stuff. Amazing what artists can do when they're feeling like there is a lack of justice, right? I can't stop thinking about the song right now. I'm trying to find a way to close this video out, but again, that's what music does, man. I had fun though. That's all that matters to me. I hope you did too. I hope it was just fun for you going through a song that maybe you've heard a million times. If I said anything or didn't say anything and it made you angry, that's okay. Feel it. If anything, let it out. Comment it to me. That's all good. But it's always good to maybe be reminded of hey man, I can be better. We can be better, you know? And there we go. The godfather of folk in a way. Fascinating. Thank you, Lori, for suggesting this to me and teaching me some history here. Much love, everyone. Till the next one.